Desperate retailers hope for a boost from post-holiday shopping. The United States and Russia keep a close eye on Ukrainian troop buildups. And it's a fight for survival as heavy rain and flooding continue in the Southwest. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. I'm Harry Smith, sitting in tonight for Dan Rather. 'Twas the day after Christmas, and shoppers were back at the mall, this time exchanging gifts and hunting for post-holiday bargains. If you didn't get what you were hoping for this year, you know exactly how the store owners feel. Jerry Bowen has our report.
It appears to be the third dismal Christmas in a row for the nation's retailers, with estimates that sales this year will be worse than expected, flat, showing no gain, or at best, barely keeping pace with inflation.
Retail sales this past holiday season were not good and probably below planned levels for many companies.
So the price cut signs went up today, from America's most expensive shopping area, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, to the big department stores and the discounters. Retailers went all out, but it may not be enough.
Last year there were more people than this year.
Really?
I think because everyone's kind of short on money this year.
Consumers have been inundated with ads promising steep discounts on virtually everything in an effort to lure them into the stores.
Every mattress, every bed at our lowest prices of the year.
Save 20 to 50% store-wide. The after Christmas sale and clearance going on now at the Broadway.
Auto giant General Motors even brought out the band today and flew in scores of executives from Detroit to promote delivery of a new model car to a California couple. But in the aftermath of its own massive layoffs, the promotion may have backfired.
We're looking at those 74,000 layoffs, and then it comes out the day later that the company just gave out $80 million in bonuses. How do you justify that?
By the way, those were not bonuses. They were recognition awards for a number of our salaried employees.
What a growing number of Americans are being forced to reckon with is the changing shape of the economy, an economy where 445,000 retail jobs were lost in the last year alone, the biggest loss on record. An economy where the discounters, such as giant Walmart, have become the retail model. Walmart made money this Christmas season, the time of year retailers look at for half their annual profit.
We barely sell anything, and when we do, we really have to push, and it's just real difficult right now to convince people to spend on luxury things when everyone's just trying to meet the necessities.
The consumers have voted with their pocketbooks and basically told the industry that they require less service, less hand-holding, and more value and more consistent everyday low prices.
It also may mean more layoffs for the retailing industry as the big department stores look for ways to stay competitive, look for ways to stay alive. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The stock market was doing a brisk business today, continuing a year-end rally that began last Friday when the Federal Reserve cut interest rates. The Dow Industrials gained nearly 32 points today, closing at a record high. President Bush admitted today that his economic advisors were wrong when they predicted the economy would recover from the recession by now. The president also announced a change in his administration. More from Randall Pinkston at the White House. Randall?
Harry, at a news conference today, President Bush took the opportunity to make a cabinet appointment and reinforce his concerns for the nation's economic problems.
She is a recognized leader in her field.
The president nominated Connecticut businesswoman and Republican fundraiser Barbara Franklin to be Commerce Secretary and said her first priority would be the same as his: job creation and economic growth.
What I want to do is find the answers that will really help the economy without doing long run damage to the economy.
Continuing to hold his plans close to his vest, Mr. Bush would not reveal specifics of his economic program, but signaled a willingness to reopen the budget agreement to cut government spending programs such as Medicare benefits for the wealthy.
You know, when you take a look at some of the entitlement programs, therein lies the real expansion of government spending. What can be done about them? We're talking about that right now.
I think there is a need for evaluating entitlements when they're not needed, and perhaps at some point cut the growth in entitlements, not cut entitlements.
The president also sidestepped any commitments for a middle-income tax cut or tax rebate beyond the $300 per person proposal that was widely ridiculed by Republicans and Democrats.
Well, we've got some ideas that I think will be stimulative, and I think that is what is necessary. I think we owe that to the American people.
Business leaders who met with the president today urged caution in doing too much too quickly to turn the economy around.
And I think artificial stimulants that might reverse that trend could get us right back in the same soup that we've been in. What this country needs
like tax cuts
is savings and investment. It doesn't particularly need more consumption right now.
Ideally, the president would like foreign consumers to buy more American goods, producing more work and more jobs here at home. That is the theme the president will be selling as he heads abroad next week for a tour of the Mideast. Harry?
Randall Pinkston at the White House. Thanks. The president will be in Texas tomorrow inspecting flood damage before he starts his annual hunting trip there. Today, some of the hardest hit areas of the state got just what they didn't need: more rain. Scott Pelley reports.
In Texas today, continuing holiday floods are washing a path of destruction through farms and small towns. The waters are now pouring into South Texas, where evacuations are underway.
We're asking people in the west end of Wharton to evacuate. Approximately 1,500 people would be affected by the evacuation.
Rivers are surging over their banks after a week-long downpour, the flood rising higher as it moves through the state. In Dallas, the floodwaters left their mark mostly on the poorer neighborhoods. The water has receded now, but hundreds of people are still without their homes. In this city alone, damage is estimated at $4.5 million.
Some silverware for him, some Merry Christmas cookies.
For Sean Conley and her brother, lunch the day after Christmas came from a Red Cross truck. Electricity in the neighborhood is still out, leaving many here cold, wet, and wondering how to rebuild. The floods are leading to some unlikely rescues. Game wardens race to save this struggling fawn, a roundup on the floodplains of Texas. Ashore, the game warden's wife tried to resuscitate the animal.
I'm hoping that she will respond after she's warmed up some. They're going to take her and rub her with blankets and everything and try to revive her.
Late today, the fawn was recovering. At least 15 people have been killed, most washed away in their cars. The rivers are expected to crest tomorrow morning. But for thousands of Texans, this will be a new year of struggle. Scott Pelley, CBS News, Dallas.
Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a new effort to build one of the most powerful armies in Europe. And don't let the laughing fool you. These could well be the most successful businessmen in the world.
Here's another actual winning moment from Publishers Clearinghouse.
Because you've just won $1 million.
The Perkins are brand new millionaires. You could be next. Publishers Clearinghouse, the house where dreams come true.
This is marvelous. I saw my doctor because the pain was so bad. I was afraid I needed surgery for my hemorrhoids. I was itching. The burning was awful. But my doctor said my hemorrhoids weren't serious. I didn't need surgery. He told me it was time I started using Preparation H.
Preparation H helps shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues and often brings relief from pain, itching, and burning for hours.
What a difference Preparation H makes.
Doctor recommended Preparation H.
For thousands of great sale items, this is the best week to buy at Sears. Our large capacity heavy-duty Kenmore washer is just $247. The matching dryer just $197. That's our lowest price of the year for the pair. But hurry, Sears' best week to buy ends soon.
At his news conference today, President Bush said he'd like to meet with Boris Yeltsin soon. As of today, the flag of Yeltsin's Russian Republic is flying at the former Soviet embassy in Washington. For the time being, the embassy will represent all the former Soviet republics. In Moscow, Mikhail Gorbachev was back in the limelight today, but only to reminisce and talk about what might have been. Jonathan Sanders reports.
Less than a day after resigning as president of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev looked neither sad nor sorry, but more like a political pro back in his element. Hosting a farewell reception for the press, an upbeat Gorbachev spoke candidly and joked with those who'd followed him for years. "Don't worry," he said. "I've learned life goes on. We'll still be together. I'll be around." But other signs of the Soviet past are disappearing quickly. Workers at the Kremlin carted off a plaque outside the Soviet Parliament building this morning. Inside, a few deputies met in a meaningless final session, observed all the while by symbols of communism's failed promise. Muscovites who up to now almost universally scorned Gorbachev were more sympathetic today now that he's fallen from grace. I'm sorry for him as a human being, but not as a politician, she said. And there was a sense of loss for more than a man. I feel something is missing, says this man. We're used to the Soviet Union. Tonight in what was the Soviet capital, people are trying to come to terms with what happened. But it will take a while before they feel really secure in their brave new world. Jonathan Sanders, CBS News, Moscow.
Defense chiefs of the new Commonwealth republics are discussing how to divvy up the former Soviet military. Russia and Ukraine both want control of the powerful Black Sea naval fleet. Russia is not thrilled about Ukrainian military ambitions, and neither is the United States, as Tom Fenton reports.
At a time when the United States and the Western allies are making deep cuts in conventional forces, the newly independent Ukraine is going all out to create one of the largest armies in Europe. It is unilaterally taking over Soviet troops and equipment stationed on its soil and transforming them into a Ukrainian army. I treat this as a great honor to serve in the National Army of the Ukraine, says this new recruit to the 1st Ukrainian Division. The main reason the Ukrainians want their own army is that they don't trust Russia. And when Boris Yeltsin's aides a few weeks ago talked about redrawing the border with the Ukraine, that only reinforced their fears. If the new Ukrainian army ever goes into action, it's likely to be against Russia. The United States and the Republic of Russia think it's a dangerous idea. It's also a luxury the depressed economy of this country can ill afford. There's been no gas on sale in the capital for almost 3 weeks. People are fishing to eke out meager rations. My family is hungry, this man says. And the government wants an army of 400,000 men, larger even than Germany's. The soldiers of the new Ukrainian armed forces are even being taught precision goose-stepping. The irony is that Ukrainian army soldiers will be wearing Soviet uniforms for the next few years because the Ukraine can't afford new uniforms. They're being taught from Red Army manuals for the same reason. And for the time being, many of the officers are Russians. The potential is being created here for another civil war in the fragmented remains of the former Soviet Union. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Kiev.
Stay with us now for more CBS News, including a Philadelphia story about a struggle for survival.
Nighttime, one of the worst times for pain that's hard to face alone. That's why you need new Ultra Strength Bengay. It's the strongest Bengay ever for muscle pain that's hard to ignore, minor arthritis pain, back pain, pain that seems worse at night. New Ultra Strength Bengay with added power and a third pain reliever, deep penetrating warmth for fast, long-lasting relief. You can say goodnight to your pain with new Ultra Strength Bengay.
Hurry to Red Lobster for the Shrimp Feast. Start with shrimp cocktail, followed by sizzling shrimp scampi, succulent grilled shrimp, and large butterflied shrimp. What a meal. Now you know why it's called the Shrimp Feast, only at Red Lobster. Bring Red Lobster home for the holidays with our sensational party platters to go. Choose from our tasty shrimp and succulent crab claw platters. Unforgettable parties start with Red Lobster's party platters to go. Call us, they're ready in an hour.
Imagine you a millionaire at American Family. Lots of all new $1 million prizes. And the biggest prize of all, $10 million. It's like entering dozens of sweepstakes with a single entry. You get all new chances to get really rich, even super rich. You can win $10 million next month. You may have the winning number right now in the only sweepstakes with my picture. Last chance to enter before I announce the winning number. Hurry.
You see the fighting in Soviet Georgia, but not the man they're fighting about. Leslie Stahl has. Some call him the last of the Soviet czars. Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Back in April, President Bush set a goal of substantially reducing infant death rates by the end of the decade. Meeting the goal won't be easy. Bob McEwen reports from Philadelphia on the struggle to improve the odds.
In some Philadelphia neighborhoods, the infant mortality rate is so high that children are less likely to reach their first birthday than if they lived in Romania.
How you doing? You know anyone that's pregnant?
Every day, the women of the Mom-mobile spread the word that the deaths of babies can be prevented.
It's extremely important for you to get prenatal care. The infant mortality rate among our children are very high in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia has more than 1.5 million people, but no public hospital. With access mostly to overcrowded health clinics, many pregnant women simply don't get the attention they need.
Hi, how you doing? Good.
And high-risk mothers have high-risk babies. Nurse Linda Jan Giordano visits a lucky few of them at home.
13 weeks premature, so the real age is 2 months.
Robin Finney's infant twins and her 5 other children were all weeks early and underweight. Another premature baby died at birth. She saw a doctor just twice before the twins were born.
So did you call your doctor yesterday and you got the Tylenol?
Yeah.
But for every family visiting nurses see, there may be as many as another 10 they don't.
We know what to do. It's not rocket science. Many of these babies can be saved. Let's just go about the business of doing it.
Philadelphia is one of 15 areas with high infant mortality rates, recently chosen to share $25 million in federal grants.
The U.S. goal is to reduce the preventable deaths of babies by 1/3 by the year 2000. That may be a long shot, but everyone agrees the first step is to convince Americans that infant mortality isn't just something that happens in someone else's country, but right here in their own. Bob McEwen, CBS News, Philadelphia.
In Connecticut today, a small plane developed engine trouble, so the pilot made an emergency landing on an interstate highway. The plane crashed into a highway barrier and the pilot was seriously injured. Traffic was unusually light because of the holidays and no one else was hurt. Coming up next on Eye on America tonight, an effort to end a blood feud on America's streets.
Hey man, thanks for bringing the brothers up.
The glorious freshness of mint. Nobody knows it better than Polident. That's why there's a splash of mint in every Polident tablet to leave your dentures feeling gloriously clean and fresh. Get super strength Polident with a splash of mint.
A cold starts small, but before you know it, your cold is full grown. Maximum strength Dimetapp relieves sneezing and congestion. 12-hour Dimetapp Extend tabs. Relief for the full-grown cold.
Eggnog, mashed potatoes and gravy, Santa cookies, Aunt Wilma's bundt cake.
The average American
turkey
can gain 4 to 7 pounds during the holidays,
candy canes,
and you're probably one of them.
Sweet potatoes.
So include the Kellogg's Special K breakfast in your New Year's diet.
Balls, dip.
And get the scale moving in the right direction.
Fruitcake, fruitcake, fruitcake.
Kellogg's Special K. Lose the holiday fat.
This is a day I will never forget.
Think about your daydreams and what you would do if you won 10 million out of the blue. Oh my God! Miracles can happen for you. Publishers Clearinghouse, the house where dreams come true.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather,
Connie Chung,
Mike Wallace,
Ed Bradley,
Leslie Stahl,
and Charles Garald. Experience.
CBS News.
You may not be aware of it, but there is a war going on in this country. It is being fought in the streets of one of our biggest cities. People are dying in record numbers. Ron Allen takes you to the battlefront in tonight's Eye on America.
It's a revolutionary war now in Los Angeles. These are all my brothers.
These are not pit bulls. They're not. They're kids.
I lost a sister and a brother on the same night.
Gang violence in Los Angeles. More than a dozen dead every week. Neighborhood battles about drugs, turf, loyalty among 100,000 Crips and Bloods.
To the outside, untrained eye, it looks like just chaos, crazy. But to us, we know how we got to this point. The death of a brother is enough to motivate to kill.
Bone is a Blood, a general in the war. Many with his status are jailed or dead.
And Babyface he was shot with a AK in a car.
The graffiti tracks the vicious cycle of murder and retaliation. Bone insists that's the only way to settle these decade-long feuds.
How many of them have you gotten revenge for? All of them. Just say everybody up there has been avenged. You gotta understand, the system doesn't work for us. When one of our people dies, police don't give a damn, you know. They make a report, scoop the body up, and he's gone to the morgue. They like, yeah, one less nigga off the street.
He got shot right here on this corner.
Lorna Hawkins' 21-year-old son, Joe, was an innocent bystander. About 1 of every 4 gang shootings claims someone like him.
It's a lot of nonsense just to do what the hell they want to do, which is kill and terrorize the streets. The ones that killed my son, I could rip their heart out right now.
Hawkins started a cable TV show that encourages other mothers to vent their anger.
Let's hear from the call. I'm sorry.
She hopes community outrage will someday stop the killings.
People should be concerned about drive-by shootings and about gangs because they live with us. They live on our streets. They live in our houses.
And the violence is spreading to more neighborhoods. The number of gang-related killings in Los Angeles is expected to break a record for the 5th straight year. Some say the average life expectancy for any gang member is just 19.
This is our future. If you care about your future, you better care about these kids.
When author Leon Bing tried to understand LA's gangs, she found teenagers so alienated and frustrated by their surroundings that life had little value.
If they are vicious killers, if they are aberrations of society, this is our society, and we have to look to ourselves. How'd they get that way?
If there's any hope of saving the next generation from the ritual of retaliation, former football star Jim Brown may have an answer.
Damn, I'm glad you made it.
Bone and other legendary Bloods and Crips now meet regularly at Brown's home.
We have some of the most volatile individuals in this city in this room right now.
The sessions are like group therapy. Brown's American program seeks to focus their energy in a more positive direction.
So we are a political force, a social force, an economic force to do right.
The message might break through to men like Bone, who are now fathers. He doesn't want the next generation growing up as he did, constantly worrying about the next bullet.
I got faith in my heart, and I believe it's going to stop. It might not be in our lifetime. It might not be in none of our lifetimes. You know, as long as it stops.
Ron Allen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Morning breath.
As soon as I have my coffee, it's all gone.
Whether you admit it or not, it's a problem.
Okay, I have morning breath, but it doesn't bother anyone.
Don't be so sure.
Mine's not so bad.
Morning breath's not as bad as you think. It's worse. So get Scope. Its 2 powerful ingredients kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Was my morning breath really that bad?
There's no denying morning breath, so save your breath with Scope.
The medical facts are clear. Tylenol is so gentle on your stomach, doctors even recommend it to their ulcer patients for everyday aches and pains. They know Tylenol can't aggravate an ulcer the same way aspirin can. That's important for all of us to know. And so is this. Hospitals use Tylenol 23 times more than all aspirin brands combined. Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
We baked pearls made of denture material in this blueberry pie to prove how powerfully Efferdent, America's leading denture cleanser, removes this tough stain, even in between. Efferdent, stronger than stains.
You know, I can still remember the very first candy given to me by my grandfather. It was Werther's Original, and I was 4. I had a little trouble opening that shiny golden wrapper, but then, well, I'll never forget that first taste. Sweet and creamy and just plain good. But there was something else, too. I remember feeling I must be somebody very special when my grandpa gave me his wonderful butter candy. So, now I'm the grandfather. And what else would I give my little grandson but my Werther's original? He's somebody special too.
Finally tonight, making it in the Japanese business world requires a rare blend of skills and qualifications. And your resume had better include graduation from a training program that most Americans would never consider. Bill Whitaker reports.
These men are laughing their way to the top of corporate Japan. It's a loosening up exercise, one of the few light moments at an executive boot camp nicknamed Camp Hell. Here, middle managers are pushed to shed inefficient habits and become aggressive, productive leaders. There's assertiveness training and public confessions. My boss told me I have to be tougher, he says. I shall change from today. The few who don't make it here often lose their jobs. Those who survive return to work in the words of the camp motto, loyal as a hound, cunning as a fox, and brave as a lion. Yoshinori Shuto took his training back to the offices of Japan's largest coffee shop chain, leading employees in daily calisthenics and reciting company principles. It's worked very well to build a sense of unity and spirit in the office, he says. Unity and spirit, which company management calls the key to the chain's success. The company soon plans to open coffee shops in New York. It's a can-do team spirit Japanese business leaders strive to instill in the workforce, to motivate employees to work hard, work smart, to be the best. It's a kind of national obsession. Almost every major company has a company song employees are required to learn. A grand design to spur one of the most disciplined, productive workforces in the world to produce even more.
They want to expand their market share. They want to make their company number one. They want to get a new product faster than IBM can. And that gets them excited.
It's a unique business philosophy that's hard to translate.
How are you? How are you?
In 1988, Camp Hell set up a base in California for American executives.
America needs this kind of training. We need to have people get more discipline in their life.
This was one Japanese export Americans wouldn't buy. The camp closed down last year. Meanwhile, back at the foot of Mount Fuji, a new batch of executive recruits is learning the drill, running hard to get ahead of the competition. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Tokyo.
That's the CBS Evening News. For Dan Rather, I'm Harry Smith. I'll see you tomorrow on CBS This Morning. Good night.
Eye on your health.
On your money.
Eye on your children.
On the environment.
Eye on crime.
Eye on America.
Only on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
This is CBS.
Next on Hard